Hello, and welcome to part 28 of Life is Your Journey. Part 28 is about the mind and the ego. My name is Bhavna Mistry, and I am the heart-centered mentor bringing to you Life is Your Journey, the mind and the ego. So, this is part 28 about the mind and the ego. What do I mean about mind and the ego? Okay, so this is a really large topic, and I'm going to try and summarize it in the most effective way I can think of doing in a short video. So our mind is connected to our thoughts. Our thoughts are what we think about any given situation. Whether it be a conditioned thought, an unconditioned thought, a new thought, a collective thought, whatever it is, however we think about something, our mind is using it to help create our lives. Now, these thoughts, they come in the form of understanding the ego. So when we talk about the ego, we're talking about the part of us that's seeking its own survival. The ego helps us in that fight, flight response. It's the one that helps us achieve, do things, go out there and take action. But also at the same time, it's very much limited to our social conditioning. So it's limited to what we're taught, what we're trained in, what information we've got from somewhere else to tell us how we should be living our lives. So this is really important to understand as a block in life, because it's a limiting aspect of us. The mind can be very limiting when it is only operating from a place of understanding your experiences in the conditions that you have been brought up in. It's also very much connected to its own survival. So the mind is a very tricky thing to work with. It very rarely actually does what you want it to do, unless it thinks it's looking after you for your highest good. So, but it might be that it thinks it's looking out for you, but it might not be in connection with your true inner alignment. And the mind will always take you away from that, because for alignment, you need to be letting go of thoughts. The ego survives by the creation of thoughts. So when you're thinking a lot, and you're putting lots of things together in your mind, you're logically thinking this through, you're putting it all together. This is right, this is wrong, this is judgment, this is opinion, this is perception, and you're allowing all of that to influence you. You're often being influenced by what you understand in your conditionings. The idea of working with the ego and the mind is to clear your... So in meditation, the concept of clearing your mind, clearing your thoughts, is there to help you understand that having a mind that is free from conditioned thoughts, it's not about not having thoughts, it's about having those conditioned thoughts which limit you. When you have a mind that is free of that, you're more aligned to yourself, that you're able to achieve the goals you want, which are in your heart. And this is a very tricky concept to understand, because often we think what we want is actually directed by our minds and our ego and the collective consciousness. And the trick is to understand what is your true heart's desire and what is your conditioned desires. And most of us are driven by conditioned desires. And you know, when somebody else isn't doing the same thing as us and they're not following the norm, we want them to do the same. This is what our society, this is what our culture encourages us to do, because everything else would be just too scary because it's different. So the mind will keep you, the ego will keep you in a place of separation from your truth. And this is where the idea of separation comes from as well. It's their mind, the ego, keeping its separate identity to the unified you, to the part of you that's consciousness, the part of you that would be awareness, the part of you that is connected to your truth. That's how the mind and ego comes into play through creation of thoughts, how we think, how we use our language, what we do. It's all connected in with that. And intuitively, I will decide which way to go forwards with this as I do the last two videos, because I really want to make sure that I bring this concept to a better understanding, and I'll decide how, because I've got 2 more videos to do in this series, so I want to wrap it up nicely, but I also want to wrap it up with understanding all this a lot more clearly. So the mind and the ego, if there's nothing else you take from this video, I want you to understand it's the part of you that keeps you separated from your truth. It's about learning how to use your mind, your ego, to work in alignment with your true desires, your true path, your true passions. And that's the whole purpose of dealing with all the negativity and past social conditioning. It allows you to bring to you your truth in a place of inner unity instead of inner separation. That's what I'm going to say about today's video, how the mind and ego works. I hope it's summarized it in a positive way for you, but please do get in touch if you want to sort of look more into it, discuss more about it, because there is a lot more to understand about all this, but I wanted to summarize it as quickly as possible. So thank you for listening. My name is Bhavna Mistry. I am the Heart-Centered Mentor, bringing to you Life is Your Journey. And this was part 28, based on the mind and the ego. And tomorrow I will continue with the second to last video. So see you in the next video.